Hi, and welcome to Design It with Tammie Gifts. I'm Tammie, and I had so much fun yesterday working with you on with florals and introducing my new Mastering Florals with AI playbook that was just launched. And today we're going to take up the newest playbook, and that one is on mastering objects with AI. And any of you who do digital, do AI art for your digital products like planners and workbooks, especially, this objects playbook is going to be so handy for anyone that's trying to do any kind of teaching aids or anything where they need objects illustrated. Sometimes those items have been super hard because of the structure of the prompt, and we are super creatives. So, in order to tell the AI how to do specific objects like a lamp, a basket, a bow, a balloon bouquet, or arch, or things like that, having the particular words, the structure there to get those items. For instance, like if you're doing a clip art pack, or you need art for a baby invitation and you need one of those, and onesie is a brand name, so therefore we don't use that, but the little body suits for babies, um they are difficult sometimes to get the right wording to get those correct. And so this is a huge playbook because there are so many different objects out there. And I did try to cover as many as possible to give you a super good foundation. What I feel like will happen is as you work with the objects, you work with the phrasing, and you begin to formulate your own personal prompts using the phrasing and getting things the way you want them, then objects outside of the scope of the 600 plus pages that I've included, I believe that you will learn as you go and become more familiar with the phrasing and the actual structure to get these objects that maybe aren't included. But you're going to have such a hand up and jump start on anybody else that's doing objects, and creating these packs. And I've just sat down before to do a pack of things. Like I sat down once to do a clip art pack for like a scene creator kind of thing, where I wanted a lot of different little objects to include so that people could use them with the mock-ups or anything like that that they wanted to. And I gave up. It was so difficult, and AI had such a problem and such a hard time actually grasping what I was asking it for. And I'm going to show you just how easy it can be um with the playbook, and how you can um do things so much faster and end up with better output. Now, as I say many times in my videos, I'm all about it being you, being your work, being your personal um, combination of phrasing and whatever. Make it yours, change things around. You can use the prompts, the sample prompts, but change them around. You're going to want to maybe keep the structure, uh, phrasing, but then you're going to want to add all of your elements. I'm going to demonstrate that. I hope this will also be sort of a shorter video. I'm trying to keep my videos an hour or under, maybe a little bit over, right now, because I feel like that's a good sweet spot. And I know that I did some really, really long ones in the past, and they are chock full of information. But, I am going to try to maybe do a few less examples just to keep it, healthy for those that don't want to sit down and spend a couple hours in front of the computer or the TV. For those of you that haven't thought about it, YouTube is an app on most of the smart TVs now. So you can pop my videos up on the TV and watch them as you're working alongside with me. That's something that a lot of my viewers do. So let's jump in and let me just show you a couple of my pre-video um, images that I did using the new Objects Playbook. So are these not awesome and amazing? Okay, so I did the bodysuit. This is the basic bodysuit with a basic color, but then I went in and told it to do the pattern, and then I wanted an animal. So we're going to go and do those. And then this is under the basket library. I started off, with the baskets, and then, I told it the shape. You have lots of modifiers and stuff that are in each one of these little sections. Let me pull it up. I sampled it a little, but for somebody that didn't watch the florals, because not everybody does florals, so that you may not have seen it. But this is the Objects Playbook, the brand new one. Let me show you what it looks like. So when you go, if you want to purchase it, you can. Now, for those of you that do not have any of my playbooks, that do not want to purchase, you're still going to get something out of this. You're going to see structure. You're going to see how I change elements. So keep watching. You're still going to get benefit out of this video. But I just want to kind of show you. I'm going to go to the, I think it's up here. And everything is hyperlinked. So we're going to go to the basket creation library. This is under part 2, the object creation library. And this breaks everything down. Now, part 1 are the foundations of object control. And it starts with your prompt framework. It breaks it down into different types, gives you different ideas about structure and all of that stuff. Excuse me, very, very helpful stuff. But anyway, this is under containers, holders, and vessels. Basket creation is going to take us here. It gives us a little introduction, gives us a couple sample images, and for this containers, holders, and vessels. And then it goes into the basket creation, and then it tells you like types. You have woven, wicker, rattan, metal, canvas, felt. There's lots of different primary basket types. It gives you shape and form, so you can have shallow, square, deep, tapered, straight-sided. You've got construction, like it can be an open, it can be a wide, it can be reinforced rim, evenly woven. So lots of these phrases that will help you to build your prompt. Now, I'm going to start, just for time's sake, with some of the sample prompts and do adjustments to it. That's just purely because I could build it from the ground up, but for me, doing a video, it's much faster for me to start with the sample prompt and change things than it is for me to start from scratch. So I'm going to do it that way. And then it just gives you some content control, like, these are some modifiers that you can use to help you to specify, for instance, whether it's an empty basket or it has a visible interior, whether it's no contents and stuff like that. So a lot of times you can use those as adjustments to go back. If you get an image and then it has, like, for instance, it puts flowers in when you didn't mean to, then you can go back to that prompt and you can use one of these that says no contents inside the basket and try to use that as a troubleshooting measure. Okay, so material and texture, you've got that wicker, straw basket, seagrass, canvas, metal. Color and palette guidance, this just gives you some color. Scale, like small, medium, large, proportionately scaled container. You've got this about isolation, standalone basket, no environment. If you have it putting if AI puts your basket with like a background that you don't want. Art style compatibility, these are just some samples of different types of art styles that typically are good to use with your basket. So, hand drawn or whatever. And this is, if you're using it specifically for clip art or invitations, then you can say decorative basket element. You can add these based on what the use is. Now we've got our sample prompts, so we can start with this standalone clean empty woven basket. So clean woven basket. I'm going to copy and paste this part of it. Okay, we're going to go back in, and just to get there faster, not have to go back up to the top, I'm just going to erase this because it's going to take us back into here. I'm leaving this just because I want it to be watercolor, and that's just an extra push to make sure that the results are going to be watercolored. Okay, so we're going to create this one first as a baseline to see what we get. This is our sample prompt. And then we're going to start making our adjustments to it. Okay, so it gave us just a very basic basket. Okay, so now we're going to go back in, and we're going to start editing this to make it our own. So I want let's change it to a metal grid basket. And see how that goes. And just a little disclaimer, you're going to see me doing this exactly as is. I do a few sample images, but this is going beyond that. So I don't know what the results are going to be. I'm just doing it just like you would be doing it if you take the playbook, or you take just your imagination or knowledge base and just start working with it. So we've got woven basket. We're going to add, and we're gonna delete that. Okay, clean, and we're gonna put this ahead. Metal grid basket, and we're gonna take woven back out, and we're gonna change the woven here to the metal grid with an open top, visible hollow interior, reinforced. We're going to see what it does and whether it does it. Okay. There's one woven I didn't take out, so we'll see if that affects it or if it actually works. Okay, we actually did get a metal basket. It did sort of do the woven, being that it sort of did almost a chicken wire type basket. Now we could go back in, and isn't that so cool? Just with changing a few things, we got a metal basket now. That is so cool. I don't even know that I've seen. Okay, so metal grid basket with open top. We're gonna, let's see, change these walls. And I'm gonna put flat metal grid basket. And then we're going to warm color. We can leave all that. Let's try it again. And sometimes you're gonna have things you want it to do that are not in the modifiers. You don't have to go in. Okay, so this did change it up a little bit. I'd like to be able to get the grids like flat, like almost like a strawberry basket. So I'm going to go in and say flat metal strawberry basket, and see if that changes it to be like those little strawberry containers where the metal would be wider and everything. And I'm not sure because I'm just now making it my own. Okay, so it did widen it up a little bit. It is not a strawberry basket, so there are many things inside that would have to be changed for that. But we did get a little bit wider strips. So I'm going to go down now to the bottom, and just try to give it a little bit more context. So this basket should be comprised of flat metal bands that are medium in width. Okay, we'll just see what it does because I'm just trying to make it into what I want to. Now, the good thing about this is all of these images would be good if I were doing a basket clip art pack. Okay, so we're getting there. We actually got strawberries, so I forgot to take the strawberries out. But we got the wider bands here, so we can tweak it a little bit more and put a up here metal and say square. Grocer's strawberry. Is that called a basket or is it called maybe a carton? But anyway, let's see what that does. Maybe if we say grocers, it'll. Again, this is a perfect example of why, if you don't know exactly what you're asking for. There we go. Okay, we did get the little square look, which is really awesome. Now, it did not give me the flat pieces, but I'm going to move on because I can prompt it to get that, but it's not necessary for example purposes. I can show you how I've already shown you how you can go in and you can use that base and then go from there. Now we're going to go back to this one, which was our main one. We're going to go back and we're going to look at, and I have got my florals popped up just because we're going to go over here to, let's go to page 7 of that's the table of contents. Up here, we're going to go to this fall floral. This is in the new florals mastering florals with AI book. So it gives you some palettes, and it's just, since I'll show you this one since these are the newest ones that I'm using, but how you can grab in. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it that we want a burnt orange. Just pick one of the colors out because a basket's going to be a single color, not a color scheme right at the moment. So we're going to do this, and it says natural color, a warm natural color. We're going to change the natural to burnt orange color where the color is. We're also going to go in and we're going to go to the shapes here. So we're going to put that it is a deep basket and see what that does. Empty, deep woven basket with open top and hollow. Okay. Interior. And we're going to choose a different aspect ratio just to see how that affects the shape and everything of it. So we changed the color, we changed and said that it is a deep basket. So we're going to see how that is. Okay, very good. Now, if we wanted to, that is deeper. It is sort of a burnt orange, but it's kind of hard to tell from natural to burnt orange. So let's change the color and go back in here and let's choose the warm brown. I tell you what, let's go up here to the summer colors and let's go to warm pink. because that'll be easier to probably see. I'm just going to change that. And standalone empty deep woven basket with handles. Add that. But now this is cool because this looks to me like one of those laundry baskets, and we could actually probably tell it to do it as a laundry basket and get the little handles, but that's cute. There we go. We got handles. And now the pink color, we're going to regenerate it because that color is getting over. It's not, let's see, we're just going to do a pink color, but we're going to erase it from here. Or I'll tell you what, we're going to leave it there and we're going to add it to the very front and put clean woven basket in a hot pink color. And let's just do this. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to take this basket and we're going to add some flowers inside. So we're going to go into our go to 5 here. 6. Let's see, we're going to go to Cottage Core Florals and we're going to choose a bouquet. I think this one would probably be really cute. We're going to grab our floral recipe, pop back in, and then we're going to go and find where it says visible hollow interior. We're going to remove that, okay? And we're going to say this floral arrangement should pop out of the basket. And we'll just see how that works. And that's just kind of me coming up with some verbiage. Okay, we're going to go back, choose our aspect ratio, and we have our pink basket, and we hope that we're going to get a pretty floral inside of our basket. Look how beautiful that is. Now, it did change this. If we'd have wanted this exact one, we could have done Human Stylizer. And would you like for me to show you that? Okay. Let's go into Human Stylizer. And I'm going to show you how you can use that. Let's go over here, Human Stylizer. You can use Photo Editor too, but I just like to use Human Stylizer. Choose from library. Let's go to this one. And then add this floral arrangement to popping out of the basket. And let's see how that works. Most of the time it works, but you know, I haven't pre-tried it with this particular set of prompts. So we'll just see how it goes. And Human Stylizer is sort of slow because it's editing what you already upload to it. But I know that sometimes when you're creating objects, you want to be able to add things like that. But isn't that pretty? We've got our pink basket with our beautiful floral created. Now I'm going to, while this is doing, instead of just sitting here refreshing, I'm going to give it some time. I'm going to take this prompt and then we're going to go into a different part of the object playbook. We're going to go to, I think it is. Nope. Okay, so we're going to go to the bow creation library, and we're going to go to and add let's do the vintage one. No, let's do the whimsical decorative bow. And we're going to add it. It should be a bright coordinating pink color. And now we're going to add the bow that we want. Okay. Back in here, and we'll just see. And our other one should actually be done, maybe. Well, no, still working. Oh, yeah, it did actually. So it did actually. Now, the problem I did is I did not specify to do this in watercolor, but we did get we got flowers in there. And I also didn't say leave the basket the same. So that was my fault. But as you can see, you can, add flowers that way too. Look at this, how cute. So now we get a basket image, and we have our floral collection in there, and we have a bow. Now let's look how that would possibly look if we take that same prompt and we decide we want to do it a little differently. Let's see now. Now it did actually, on this one, it changed the color of my basket. And so I would probably go back in and tweak that a little bit. Oh, this one's lovely. Now this one is done with the pencil sketch style, but I really like that. So you can do some really amazing things. Okay, so let's go and sort of review a few other things that I feel like are like, oh, let's do the baby thing. Okay, so let's go back to the baby, this here, and let me just show you ways that you can tweak that. Let's go into that section. Let's see, where are we at with that? We're under the baby nursery objects, the baby bodysuits creation library. So this gives you all sorts of long sleeve, sleeveless, different ones, and then shape and proportion control. It gives you fabric and surface control, all that sort of thing. Color palette control. Anyway, all kind of structure and stuff. So let's say that we want to go over here to, let's just say, florals, and this is cottage core looking. So let's look at, let's do this one, or let's do this one, the garden roses. Okay. And I'm going to give you a couple little tips. Okay, so in this, what we're going to do is the body suit should have an all over pattern featuring miniature of these florals in a trendy pattern. And we'll just see. So we can say, let's see, that we want to make trend pattern featuring and baby animals scattered among the tiny flowers. We'll just see what sort of pattern that gives us. Now, if you already have a pattern, how can you incorporate that in? You can go to your pattern prompt for your seamless pattern, and you've got a really cute one and you want something similar, then see, we got one little animal. So let me just go back and show you. Let's see. Let's go over here to the seamless patterns, wherever that's at, version 2. Seamless pattern of, let's do the copy and do this with our garden roses, this mixture. Now I don't need eucalyptus leaves. Take that out, soft herbs, okay. And then with I'm just gonna put baby elephants in various poses. Okay. So, I didn't create the seamless pattern. I should have done that. Do another one. We can go ahead and copy this. Okay, let's see if those worked. Well, one didn't populate. Probably the one that I stopped. Move it. Let's see if it comes up with a pattern we want to use. If not, I have another idea. You can go over to this one. Nope, that's not it. There's like 3 seamless patterns. Where's the other one? Did they do away with one? Where's the original seamless patterns? Let's go back over here. It's the same one. Okay. Here it is. Okay. So this one that has patterns, you could also go in and, let's say, adjust this and say you've got minimalist, seamless pattern, blah, 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 blah. You could take something like this. I'm just going to assume that this was your own idea. You could copy this, and then you could use this and mention a seamless pattern onto the bodysuit that we're doing. So, and a lot of people are only going to do solid ones anyway. Okay, so that's not really all that cute. So I'm going to go in with, just to see if this works, let's do, instead of featuring, floral featuring, and let's just paste a minimalist seamless pattern. Okay, let's see if this works on it. And again, we're just playing around with it, testing theory, and trying to see how to best. There we go. So you can use that. You could change the colors up, or, if you want a seamless pattern and you want a little shortcut, then you could do this. You go in, use the playbook. I would change it up, even if you're actually testing it out inside of the um, seamless pattern. This is the number one version here, not the new one. But you can see all the different little patterns. Like this one is cute. So a seamless animal. Let's see how that would look. Um, and I'm saying come up with your own, but these are going to be the beginnings where you can change things around. So, and I'm going to show you how to do that. We copied, I think I copied it. Let's copy it. Okay. And then go back to our image here. And let's change this out. Paste that and see what it does. See if it gives us kind of the little zebra look and how that looks. Oh, that's so cute. So this you can see is going to super charge your like clip art or whatever. I mean, I can see me using something like this as a the basis for a birthday invitation. I could even use this. Okay, so let me try something else. I'm just being crazy now. So this is me being crazy. Okay, so single standalone baby bodysuit, blah, blah, blah. Instead of the single standalone, what we're going to do is we're going to now say watercolor, and we're going to say a cute little baby elephant wearing a baby bodysuit, and just see. I mean, it may turn out weird, but we're going to see if we can actually now put a bodysuit on a cute little baby elephant and then see how that. Okay, so the baby suit, it made him this way, but the actual baby suit, we're going to have to work on that. So let's just see what we can do. Okay, so I think it's because it's the baby bodysuit. Let's see. Fabric, one piece, bodysuit. Let's do away with the no baby and no environment. And instead of the black and white zebra stripes, let's see. And there may be a different way we can do this, but I'd love to be able to fix it so that we could have him wearing a baby suit. I mean, a bodysuit. Okay, still not there. So now I'm going to show you how I think we can do this. Okay, so here we're going to go back over here to Human Stylizer. Browse. Oops, not browse. We're going to go from here. We're going to choose this bodysuit. And then we're going to say, create a cute baby elephant in a whimsical watercolor style. And he should be wearing this bodysuit. Let's just see. if we can get the elephant to wear the bodysuit, if that's a way that we can create an elephant wearing a bodysuit. I'm just all about trying it all out, figuring it all out. Okay, so that did not work. So we're going to go back in. He is a really cute elephant, though. Very cute. Okay, so we're going to go back in. We're going to see if we can figure it out. I've given up before. Not a big deal, but we are going to go to Human Stylizer again. Okay, we're going to select, and if I can hit the right thing, we're going to select, let's just select him this time and do it backwards. Okay. Make this character wear a bodysuit a baby style bodysuit with a zebra pattern. Okay, so that's not exactly. Let's go back. I'm going to open another thing so that I can copy what we already had. Okay, here. Let's go back over here. And let's see what this is. And pop back in here. All over. And let's just see what it does. Human Stylizer has its own set of language that goes along with it. And again, it takes a little bit longer for that to work. Okay, so I'm going to go back in here to here. And we're going to see. We're going to see, number one, if we can change the style and if it'll read it differently. Let's see. Nope, still made it. I don't know. That's kind of. It should be cut off here, so got some weird looking animals here. Okay, so it did do a bodysuit. This is like a bodysuit, but not exactly the pattern and everything that we wanted. So I think with a little bit of practice, I can ace that. So I'll figure it out. I'll let you guys know if I figure out how to do that. But for all intents and purposes, we can get what we originally started out with. I just get a little, I squirrel a bit sometimes just because when I start doing things, I start having such a good time with them. Okay, so we're going to go back in now. I've shown you how to do the bodysuits and that sort of thing. And let's just look at some different things. We've got bibs that we can do. We have this really cute style bib. There's lots of different things that you have access to when you do purchase that, just like the baby booties. Those are super cute. And then baby blankets are very cute as well. Look how cute this is. And I was able to put this design on it. So you start off with kind of a blank and then you just build from there to get it personalized the way you want it for your clip art pack or for whatever application that you're using it for. So let's go back up now and see what else we have. Okay, so jars and bottles, that's another really handy thing. Is like if you want a canning jar or whatever. So let's go down and see if we can. This is a vintage apothecary jar. Open jar with lid. So we can just replace this with our new prompt. And we can also change color. We can put things in it. I mean, it's good to get the single object, but I'm trying to show you a range so that you see that you can take that object then and you can build other things. You can put it inside things. You can, okay, see, we have a single glass, we have a glass jar here. If we want to change it and like change the color, we can go here and pick out the olive here. And instead of clear glass, we'll paste our olive in here, olive colored glass material. Now, let me see if we can also check it out and see if, let's see, I need to, the name, Dandy Canning Company etched on the jar. Let's just see if we can get something that kind of can't use ball because that's a ball canning is a, so we can make up our own name and see if we can do it as a canning jar. Dandy Canning Company. Very cool. So we did that. Changed our color just a teeny bit, but it did a really good job with that. And it also changed the lid. And because this lid doesn't look, this looks more like a one piece, but when we added the canning reference, it kind of changed our lid to more of a canning lid. Now let's see what we can do with the floor if we want to incorporate florals now. So we can go back over to 6. And let's see, whimsical flowers. Let's do the zinnias. And let's go back in. Let's see where we want to put this. Visible hollow interior. We're going to remove that and put this an arrangement of popping out of the top of the jar and see what that does. How cute is that? That is so super cute. Now, let's just say that we want to do these jars, but we want to do a basket. Let's go back to our baskets down here. Let's just say we want to use this one, and want to, and I'm going to go back over here, and let's update this one. Okay, so we want to update it to say this one. Generate. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to, okay, copy, and we're going back into the basket, and then we're going to say down here, we're going to say inside of the basket there should be several of these, and then paste. Instead of the standalone, we can just put standalone open glass jars, or just, we're going to take the open out, glass jars with lid, and instead of resting beside it, we just want with lid, and instead of visible hollow interior, we want them filled with jams and jellies, and see how it goes. Now, this is all mushed up, and again, I'm doing it on purpose just so you see that, you start out, you see how it is, and then you tweak it. You may have to move things around. It's kind of a whole system. I don't adhere to a lot of the folks who, there we go. We have all sorts of jams and things. We have all of our jars in there. We could go in and we could add a bow now. Let's go back into our objects. Let's go back and go to our bow library. Let's pick out the kind of bow we want to use. Let's just do a vintage fabric bow. And let me show you how you can actually change this up as well. Copy. And we're back into this one. And then I'm going to remove the empty because it overrode it anyway. And the visible hollow interior, we're going to take that out. With a large statement, because we want a big one. Instead of A, we're going to just do vintage inspired fabric bow with layer loop, with a floral pattern featuring, and then we're going to go over here and we'll just use the same one since it's highlighted. Okay. Paste that in. Layered loops, background. Okay. So let's just see what it does. We'd love to have a big vintage bow on this one. Let's just see. Because that would be really cool. And again, showing you how to layer these things to get them the way that you want. It's like having all the ingredients. Oh, how cute that is. Now, it did give our fabric bow. It actually even added some little florals in there, which I didn't specifically ask for, but the way that it read it and interpreted it is just right. I like that. I love the fabric bow on the front and the extra little florals in there. That worked great. So let's just see if we can change the florals, just the florals, and continue to use this as a, let's do the sunflowers here. Okay, so we're going to change just the flowers and see if we get basically a very similar look. We'll do the same aspect ratio just so we can confidently compare what it's going to do with it. And let's just see. It may not do it. AI is still, well, it did. It gave us a different little look, but it still gave us the florals in the background, in there with them, the jams and the little bow. So it did do that. Now let's see if we can change the aspect ratio and see what we'll get. Let's see if we're doing the taller aspect, vertical aspect ratio, how that changes the look of the basket and the florals and the bow. Now everything did not fit in because the thing is, I do like that with this one it put the label on the jars, which is cool. But you could also, it did that instead of, it overrode, like where with these we had it on the jars themselves, which you can see it in this one that it still has that on it. These others, the how they're arranged took that away. In this one, it used an actual label rather than the fronts of the jar, which is still cool because when we're doing clip art, we actually want variety, and even when we're doing things like this. But this shows you. Now, I could go back in and kind of maybe at the bottom, we could say, um, use the florals above to enhance the interior of the basket and with and arrange them with the jars in a trendy and stylish manner. And then we'll go and do this aspect ratio and see what we come up with. I'm also going to, oh, that's cute. Okay, we're going to change the style to this pencil sketch style. Go back to here and see what that looks like too, because this is just fun. Oh, how cute. See, now I was able to use that as a different, I went in and commanded it differently. So we got a little bit more intentional placement of the flowers and stuff. But see, that is super cute. Okay, look at this one. This is so cute. I love the pencil sketch and how that worked. Now, if you wanted to go in, you could change that where you can read it or whatever, or say no label if you don't want it to do that or whatever. But I think these are really cool. So I think I've shown you. I'm going to go through and just for the sake of just a little sneak peek, we're going to go through the table of contents, a little bit on the objects, just so you see the vast range. I have 3 pages of content. So it is really huge, 647 pages. We're going to go to the table of contents. And as I said before, part 1 is the foundation of object control, and then it breaks it down into various different categories, and it gives you specific advice for building your prompts, building your phrases, Part 2 is the object creation library. Sorry about that. She hasn't been feeling well, so she sees something outside. Okay. Hush now, baby. Hush. Okay, so you've got bow creation, ribbon, garland, tassel, toy creations. Then you've got kids, toys, and play objects, stuffed animals, building blocks, craft toys, crayons, markers, paint palettes, paint brushes, um, scissors, glue, backpacks, toy vehicles. Then you've got everyday lifestyle objects, mugs and cups. Let's go back up here. Books, tables, lamps, shelves, mirrors, picture frames, pillows, blankets and throws. Under texture based objects and surfaces, you've got paper textures, fabric and cloth, wood and natural surfaces, distressed and aged surfaces, overlay and wash textures. Under object sets and groupings, you've got decorative object sets, flat lay object arrangements, curated object clusters, self-style groupings, gift bundle sets, party table layouts, styled decor collections. Under baby nursery objects, you've got baby bodysuits. We played with those. We've got bibs, booties, baby blankets, bottles, pacifiers, rattles, growth charts, mobiles. Under pet and animal accessories, we've got pet collars, leashes, bowls, beds, tags, toys, apparel, grooming. And under outdoor and garden objects, we've got watering cans, planters, garden tools, birdhouses, lanterns, outdoor chairs, benches, garden baskets, plant markers. And then under food and kitchen objects, we've got plates, bowls, cups and glasses, utensils, teapots, coffee pots, cutting boards, serving trays, fruit clusters, plain baked goods, and then vegetable clusters. We've got functional and utility objects like keys, locks, tools, suitcases, luggage tags, mailboxes, storage bins. Paper and document object assets like blank envelopes, blank cards, paper stacks, creation library, the scrolls, tickets, certificates. So that's pretty much it. It's huge. And it has anything I could think of. If I missed some things, I'm sorry. But that's the things that will help you out, and you could see how they're each divided up and have all those little things. um, there's even bonuses at the end that give you extra information on crafting your prompts. So, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad to be sort of back in the swing of things, and hope we'll have more videos. I'm trying to really hit it hard to get some more content out there, since I missed a little while, several weeks, not making content because of being sick and because of the holidays and everything. I couldn't speak where you could have heard me. It was very scratchy. It's much better, and I think the more that I do my videos, then it's going to get better and better. Definitely feeling much better and closer to my old self. So thank you for sticking in there with me. Thank you to everyone who has been an encouragement through this sickness that I had, and I really appreciate it. You helped me. And when I released that video yesterday on the Floral Mastery Playbook and the little Floral Mastery Workshop, the comments I've gotten to that video, the welcome back, missed you, all of those mean so much to me. Thank you. And don't ever think that I don't appreciate you, because I definitely do. And anyway, so it's about to start scrolling through all of the different playbooks. I started to add, I decided to add that just because I'd gotten such a stable of, so many different playbooks, so that everyone will be able to, if they want, let those, continue to run, so that you can see all that's available in case you missed any. And be sure and check out the description of the video. It has all the links to how, where to purchase. Remember, if you're in the EU, you can purchase the playbooks through Gumroad. Be sure and check the description for any discount codes that might possibly still be active to save you some money. I do try to run specials fairly often. I don't run them all the time, but I do try to run them pretty regularly to make the playbooks more affordable for you. Again, thank you for watching, and until next time, happy creating.